I've been feeling anxiety about...
Anxiety. Speak up,
yes,
so that all may share in your anxiety.
Yes. About...
About what?
Earth changes.
Earth changes.
And the situation in this country and in the world.
Yes.
And most of the time, I'm very excited about the transition.
All right.
And
but some of the time?
Some of the time, it's getting
anxious.
there. It's getting there.
Getting where?
Getting through the transition.
Getting through the transition. Well, you see, you're adding anxiety by looking at it as having to get through it instead of living in it.
Okay.
Be here now. The journey is the thing. Whatever happens is what's supposed to happen. How you respond to it determines the effect it has on your life. Remember, nothing has built-in meaning. Nothing has built-in meaning. Everything is neutral. You supply the meaning you've been taught to supply it with, and the meaning you supply it with determines the effect you get out of the situation. So if you find that you're anxious, you are supplying a meaning that is, by definition, generating anxiety. If you don't prefer that, supply a definition to what's happening that will allow you to extract only beneficial experiences from it, no matter what anyone else may be experiencing in the very same event. Does that make sense mechanically to you?
Yes.
Does this help you?
Yes.
Is there something else you wish to explore about this?
Yes. How much of this is actually mine, and how much am I picking up from humanity?
You do exist in an agreed upon reality, a co-created reality. So there is always the opportunity to key into other people's vibrations and key off of those vibrations, as you say, picking it up from other people. However, the only way you can actually experience what you are sensing in other people's vibrations is by absolutely creating it in your own vibration. You cannot experience it otherwise. We often use the following seemingly simplistic, but nevertheless fully illustrative example to underscore the point. If you are walking down the street and you are wearing white socks, and somebody runs up to you and says, "I hate your orange socks," you would just look at them like they're crazy, because that's not your reality. You would understand that that vibration has to do with them. It's their issue, not yours, because you're not wearing orange socks. You would have no negative reaction. You follow me?
Yes.
Because you don't relate to it. It's not your reality. So it's fundamentally neutral until you supply the meaning. But if somebody runs up to you and says, "I think you're stupid," you already have been taught to assign meaning to the word stupid, so very often many of you will react to it before you think about it. The idea is to neutralize all the meanings and take a moment to pause and select what meaning you prefer to give to the situation, so that regardless of the other person's intention in the event, you will only experience a positive and beneficial result based on the meaning you have supplied. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does this help?
Yes.
Can you begin to supply meanings to every event, every circumstance, and every situation you encounter that will allow you to extract a beneficial result from it, rather than worrying that it will have a negative effect on you and create anxiety?
Yeah, I assume so.
All right, well, will you do so? It's a choice. There is nothing empirically that says it has to be one way or the other. If you want to experience anxiety, if you like experiencing anxiety, by all means continue to do so.
No, it's distracting.
It's not working for you, is it?
No.
All right. Please understand this. This is a very powerful concept. Motivation. You're always motivated in your choices to choose this over that. Always motivated by one thing and one thing only. All your motivations are based on the same principle. There is no other principle. You will always choose in the direction of what you believe to be more pleasurable, and you will always move away from what you believe to be more painful. Now, therein lies the paradox, because obviously you have the capability of recognizing that sometimes you will choose things that seem to be painful over things you would think would be more pleasurable. But if you are choosing the obvious painful thing over the obvious pleasurable thing, what that tells you is you have a belief system within you that is actually labeling the painful thing as more pleasurable than the so-called pleasurable one for some reason. Because you wouldn't choose it if you didn't label it as being the lesser of the two evils. So you have to find out what the definition is you might be attaching to things that would allow you to see that as the only choice to make. And when you find out what that definition is, it will become obvious and transparent to you that you no longer need to make that attachment to that thing. And when you let it go, you will automatically then choose the thing that you have attached more pleasure to. That's the only thing that exists in the mechanism of motivation. You move toward pleasure, what you perceive to be pleasurable. You move away from pain, what you perceive to be pain. It's all based on what you perceive to be, what you believe to be, what you define to be pleasure and pain. So when you change those definitions, you will not hesitate for a second to choose something that gives you a more beneficial experience once you are attaching more beneficial meanings and definitions to it. No other process is required. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So in other words, what you're saying then,
yes,
that when I have this anxiety, it's...
Own it. Own it.
Okay.
You must own it, because you cannot change what you do not own. Don't ignore it. Don't deny it. Don't say, I'm supposed to be more spiritual than this. The anxiety has value. What value does it have? It puts you in touch with the fact that you have a definition that doesn't work for you. Oh, joy! My anxiety has revealed something I didn't know about myself. I can't wait to explore and find out what that definition is so I can let it go. And that's how you instantly turn anxiety into excitement. Because understand, you only have one energy. You experience your very own energy, your very own vibration as fear, as anxiety, when you are filtering it through belief systems that are out of alignment with your true self. But you experience the very same energy as joy and excitement when you filter it through belief systems that are in alignment with your true natural self. So feeling fear and feeling anxiety is a beneficial tool to let you know when you're holding on to a belief that doesn't work for you. And as soon as you recognize it and use anxiety that way by owning it, accepting it, acknowledging it, and then diving into why it's there, you will instantly transform it into joy and excitement, because you will be using it for the reason it exists, to bring your attention to the fact that there is something there that's out of alignment that you want to bring back into alignment. So it's a positive thing. So instantly recognizing that will automatically change the attitude and energy of the entire experience. Make sense?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Thank you.